Hey, I hope you got a little break to stretch, move. It's important to get some exercise done and not sit very long to watch me or anybody by any case. So this is the part two of putting it together, the ERS and the improvement plan. So in part one, we kind of give a general review on how to fill up the ERS appropriately. Um, and the second part, it's going to be how to fill up an improvement plan appropriately. I have a couple of examples, and I'll start just by using the profile. I call it the scoring sheet. Um, the profile of some schools of some people that did their observations before. All schools are different, so what you want to look is at the medium, like if the highest score they have in the whole center it's a 5, you might not want to do an improvement plan in number 5. So you want to do an improvement plan on the ones that are 1, 2, 3. If your maximum score is a 5 as a center. If your maximum scores are 6, you might be looking at somewhere between 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe. So it all depends on your general scores, like what is the common score versus what things really need to be worked out. So when you're really looking at an improvement plan, you're separating things that you would like to things that are really needed to start with. If you're very thorough and you want to do a total and complete improvement plans, you can score anything that it's under a 7. So if that's what you wish, it's fine, but you don't have to. I always feel that an improvement plan should reflect what you can do realistically. So if realistically your center is not doing very well, how can you get it out of that danger zone? If your center is an excellent center and it's doing quite well and there is only a few things under 7, you will do them all. Of course, you want to become excellent. Now, if you looked at your center and you were fully 7s, it's telling me you're not observing right. I've never, ever, ever been in a center that it's perfect. And I can assure you, I will never be. There are centers that are wonderful and have really good things, but there's no perfection. And that's part of human nature, and that's okay. That's why we strive to get it better. And you'll know every semester that you do it, you're going to find new things that are not right or you forgot because you're so used to do them. You might have taken enough math books and now you don't have enough math material or something else. It happens. That's why you have to do it every year so you are aware of like, oh, I made this mistake. How can I fix it? The other thing to do an ACRS or any ERS, so any environmental rating scale, it takes about 8 to 10 hours to fill, at least. I know they say 3 to 4, that's not realistic. I've never been able to fill up a scale in less than 8 hours. And usually I do them in my own class that I know. So if you're not going to be knowing your class, you're going to be having to visit a center, observe for at least 3 to 4 hours or maybe a whole day, and request an interview with the teacher for the things that you might not see just by natural play. Like, for example, do staff get trainings? You might not see it there. Yeah, they might have a binder with all of their stuff, but most probably you will have to do some questions. So when you're doing the improvement plan, I am open to different formats. Some people like writing, some people like graphing. Most people that do an improvement plan do a graph so they don't miss parts, which is fine with me. The first thing I'm going to grade you in your improvement plan is if you're choosing the items from the ERS, Eckers, Eaters, Feeders, or Suckers, and you're scoring what the low scores is. A lot of times I get students that say, oh, I really want to have a quiet space. But when you go into their echoes or their observations, nothing got marked down on that. You can do an improvement plan on what you want. The improvement plan is based on your low scores, based on your arms and Clifford tool. So in this one, if you're looking in general, not even paying too much attention to it, just like a general view, you can see where your improvement plan is going to be. Your improvement plan is going to be anything under a 3. As a 3 and less, it's a must. So you get enough things there. enough items. And if you want to be more thorough, you're going to include the fours. Just because there is a lot of 6 and 7s, so you might want to really upscale and add those fours too, any item. So let's go. So when I looked at this, I will be making sure that you have scored item number 1, item number 13, item number 17, item number 23, item number 25. Maybe if you want and you feel like you should, and I would do it if it was my center, I would also include 7, 20, 21, 24, and 28. Just so you're getting an idea of how it is. I'm going to show you another example. Let me open it up. Let's see in this case if you can see which are the items. This one is even clearer. I mean, this center has pretty much all 7s, a few 6, and then a few under. So when I looked at these scores, I would always go for anything that it's under a 6. So in this case, it would be item number 15, 21, 24, 26, 43. And then you would keep on going. I'm just kind of giving you a visual of how you can use this. It's called the profile, not the scale, to really determine where you go. Not all of the ERS have this tool. So then you would just look at your numbers and see where are they, or you can create your own and match it so you can visually see it. I'm a visual person, so I have to read, but I would look at your lower scores based on your higher scores and work on that. And unless you really want to have a detailed plan, then I would include every single thing that was not a 7. Now, how can you put together your improvement plan? I'm going to show you the one that Ashley, the one from the eaters that we saw in video number 1. Let me open it. So this was Ashley's improvement plan based on her score. So she wrote clearly item number 1, indoor space, and she got a score of 4. She explained what the problem was. She explained the solution. Now your solutions need to be realistic. What do I mean by that? If you need outdoor water, don't tell me I'm going to put a faucet outside. Chances are you're not going to get that faucet put outside. Maybe your center does have a grant or something where they were going to do that improvement. But if they haven't, chances are you're not going to get $10,000 to add piping and lining to add an outdoors. So what other options do you have? How can you accomplish that in a different way that it's more realistic? Maybe you can buy a movable sink. They have them nowadays in a lot of places where you just refill a gallon and kids can wash their hands in a small area. Maybe you'll just add hand sanitizer. Maybe you'll create a strategy so you can go into the classroom and help those kids wash hands if needed. Or maybe if you need a drinking fountain, you'll just buy a jug of water that you can bring outside every day. Or maybe you'll have the children bring a water bottle from home every day. And then you label them and bring them outside. The way you solve a problem makes a big difference. There is an easy route and not realistic, and there is some that you can make more realistic. Another example, if you have if you have a need for natural ventilation and there's no windows. My center is all windows. There's no shades. There's no openings except for the doors. So what we did to create more natural air, we open up the doors that we have and we put little panels just so the kids know to stop and not head outside of the door. So instead of keeping our doors locked and closed during the day, we keep them propped open with a little stopper. So the kids know that we're not doing outside time or anything like that, but still we're getting that circulation, because I know they're not going to change all of the walls to add some windows. It wouldn't happen. So again, try to solve the problems in a realistic way. So when I see your solutions, I want to hear solutions that are realistic and that they have a budget. if you're going to tell me that you're going to install new windows, I want you to go to a window place and have them do a estimate. So you can see how expensive that might be versus figuring a little panel. You can do it with PVC or wood, wood plank to make a stop sign. Then you're going to specify who's responsible to do it. So like in the case of the windows that we're opening, create more air or outdoor air, we would be opening the doors, and I was the one that created little panels. We got them out of PVC, and then we put a little thing, and it was not very much. It was like, I can't remember, maybe $50, $30. And you can also get parents to help you. That's a great way of parent involving. And then the timeline. When are you expecting this to happen? Will it take years, a semester, a week? Some things are very easy, like there's not enough stuffed animals, so you might request a donation of stuffed animals to the parents, and that might be done within the first 3 weeks of school. Other things might take a little bit longer, like if you had to purchase a $200 sink for outdoors, so you might have to wait till, they give you your budget or things like that. So this is how she did hers. She used a form, and then she would put the links on the places that she wanted me to buy. She tackled every single one that was beyond and underneath a 6. So she did very well at associating what the eaters results were with her plan of action. And actually, she worked at my center, and we did improve most of the things that she mentioned. It was part of our action plan because she had done it, and we had read through it. We found it was important to get it done, and we did. Now, let me show you another sample, of an improvement plan. This one, this student, Rochelle, it's the acres that we saw that had a little bit of everything all over the place. So we were going to tackle the 3, 2, and 1s, or maybe the 4s. She did also, let me see. Let me move a little bit this so you can see the whole thing. I'm going to move myself to the side. So she did an acres. She was talking about the problem here, which problem she found. So the item number, in this case, it was item number 4, room arrangement for play, under space and furniture section. And she described the problem. She was very descriptive and the solutions were very, very, very detailed. You don't have to do it in a graph form if you prefer to do it in a writing form, as long as it has all of the parts. It has the item problem, the description of the problem, solution for the problem, who's going to be responsible, and again, a timeline for change. She was so detailed. She did not only write her plan on every single item that she needed with a really realistic idea. They were all accomplishable. Nothing was too expensive. Nothing was out of the ordinary. And it wasn't just saying, oh, there aren't enough books, so we're going to buy books. No. It was, there aren't enough math books. The solution is, I'm going to add, can't think of any books, the counting book 1. We're going to add, I had some beautiful ones about counting. You just tell me what books are you going to buy that are about counting, and then you can go to Amazon or another place to get an estimate of how much it would be. I tell you, involve parents. Donations. Parents love to help if they can. Like if you do like a list of desirable items and maybe bring them to your parent meeting, parents will sign in or might sign in to bring one or other book, so it can become really realistic. Or you can make books with the children. Wow, how more fun. So part of her plan, she also added an exhibit, and she kind of sent the picture and where she found the different things that she might need to add into her area. She was very specific and detailed. She put the pictures of what she was needing and the toys, what kind of toys, very specific and realistic. It was very detailed. She needed a place for the staff to see, and she was I mean, there was so many details into this. And then, as if that was not enough,